Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United. Your boys on the inside. Reem, Nico, and we have what kind of name is that? What kind of name is that, Callum?
The Glazers. Tonight is our big night for the Glazers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl finals. And our team, owned by the Glazers, Manchester United, move on after beating the Glazers. So we've spoken in victory, guys. Glazers all the way.
Yeah, but watch me, you was the same one fighting on the Glazers and them the other day, you know, watch you now.
Yes. Listen, I am real. When you do, when I call that speed, when you're doing shit, I'm beating you. When you're going good, I with you 100%. But at the end of the day, the Glazers are our owners. For respect the Glazers, they're doing a great job. Right now, my two sporting team, but I am Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady going good. I happy I in Super Bowl. Yeah. No, with that Gregory, I'm the cigar so that celebratory cigar. It's not I'm cigar weed, but cigar, just a cigar alone.
Anyway, guys. So we want to get into the mix. Welcome again to the show. FA Cup action, fellas. Manchester United versus. I don't have to say the late great. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I feeling to call them the late great because I mean when you look at this game today, I didn't feel no kind of intimidation from this Liverpool team. This Liverpool team was too easy, boy. It was too easy, you know.
It wasn't so much easy. You know what's beautiful about today's game? It's because it was an FA Cup game and we had to change our modus operandi because it was a game to win. We actually played on the front foot. And I was so refreshing to see that on the front foot, we were able to dominate them because we had 55% of the possession. When last, as Manchester United dominated possession against our top 6 team. It's been a while. So it shows when we change our approach and the tactics change that we have the players and what happened in the team is growing. So we have the confidence to take on this team. Because we took on Liverpool head on today. We didn't play. Yes, we scored from the counter attack, but the point is the team took them on. They made on the field of battle. Let's go. They played let's go football. Let's go.
Yeah.
And with the players we have, and what's beautiful about it, the two teams was more or less full strength. I mean, the goalkeeper change here there. Liverpool play 1 or 2 youths, but the point being, it was the full Liverpool club. We can't say nobody's missing per se because all Liverpool big players today they came off the bench and we took them to blood clot. GG, GMU boy, glory, Manchester United. Don't smoke Mr. Guy again, man.
But here, and you know what was as I made that point, Mr. Glazer. You know what was real impressive for me? What impressed me a lot? The fact that Oli didn't go with the McFred midfield now. It's like he didn't think that he needed to give Liverpool that kind of respect. You know, and I find that was impressive for me. But anyway, so let me get into the mix. Let me talk about the starting lineup. But before we do that, let me just get some comments in here. Hey, Jody, welcome, man. Thanks for joining.
Good night. Hey, Jody.
And Gregory saying Klopp was complaining about the style of football last time. He get what he wanted. Exactly.
Yes, boxed up. The most impressive thing about this game was this. We actually threw away goals. We could have hit them about 8. No. 8 is too much. But we could have scored 5 clear goals. It had one in the first half or 2 in the first half where if Greenwood had squared the ball, it's all over. Our boy Cavani hit the post. You know, when you look at the reverse of it, Liverpool scored the chances. I think we only had one, what I would call that guilt chance. Outside of that, straight up football.
Nice. So, Nico, tell me now, when you saw the team sheet come out, when it's the FA Cup, when we needed to rotate, what was your thoughts?
Well, definitely. Well, my look was on the midfield. You see the Pogba and the McTominay, as I was saying before, I would have liked for them to play Liverpool in the first game in the league. But I midfield Pogba and, let me say, Fred or McTominay. You know, because we had that technical ability in the middle of the field. Right, we saw why again at times today why he didn't play Pogba in the defensive midfield role, because I find he was picked off a few times in that defensive midfield role and a bit too regular, you know. But as in midfield, I would have liked to see. I think that was more or less the team I would have liked to see, except maybe a Marshall for a Greenwood. But as a team, I would have liked to see. No, when we played them in the league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me say a Bruno for Van der Beek. Right, and Marshall for Greenwood. In the team I would like to see when we played them in the league. And more or less we did it today. We did it today and we didn't have that Bruno in the team, right? We didn't have Marshall in the team, but we looked good. We really looked good. We at times the game was feeling too easy. You know, I say, and Breezy was talking to you, and we say, well, boy, when the game's so easy, sometimes we just mess it up.
True.
Because the game was so easy that headers on corners that our players walked in free headers that should have scored. I can remember Pogba had one, McTominay had one.
I think Maguire didn't get one.
Maguire had one.
Yes,
You know,
headers.
yeah, was clear headers. So I think today, the formation today, I think, yes, as Callum would have said, or as Mr. Glazer would have said, that it was a game that you had to get a result, and we took it to them. And as you would have said, it looked like a former great.
Yeah. Talk to me, Mr. Glazer. What was your thoughts when you saw the team sheet and, going into the game?
Well, my first happy thought was that
I don't know, Callum, I don't know, but your video sticks, so I know what's going on there.
That's all. Yeah, I am. Sorry. And right now I'm busy messaging too because my haters fighting me on the football and the NFL, so I fight them hard on Facebook. Because you know the beauty about this, but everybody know I is Mr. Manchester United. But also other people don't know I'm a Tom Brady fan. You know, I was hard on the Patriots when he went Tampa Bay across over him. But coming to our football, he stick to our football. What was refreshing, I was glad to see Bruno getting a rest. He might have been crying that he needs another break.
Yeah.
And also I was glad to see we went attacking. We played with the one defensive midfielder in McTominay. We played with Donny. And we showed some faith in Donny because he was playing the force number 9, so to speak. And if you notice, the team is being built around Pogba. And this is what we always wanted. At the end of the day, Bruno might be doing what Bruno does because he's playing force number 9, almost a second striker. But in order for us to do anything, we all know is all about Pogba. We need to build the team around Pogba. And now, the team is being built around Pogba. And I was so pleased about that. I would like to see Maguire get arrested because I really want us to be able to... It takes a team to do it all, right? At the end of the day. So I want to see all our part players. I like to see Abadi, Lindelof. Hey, Lindelof had an incredible game. And I'm going to take a real... Yeah, that good game today. Yes, he did. I'm going to take a little humble pie today and say this. Show actually look past today, man. I think, but like, sure. It's that one where Rashford break away and Shaw made the underlap and he played the ball and say, and the ball can go not to play and Shaw got to the ball.
Yes.
My man in match is showing because once again he put Salah in his pocket, even though Salah scored and he had that one mistake, but Salah's quality to where that finish was amazing. You know? Yes, Dexter Cyrus is the brilliant. Also, Dexter Cyrus is one of our greatest coaches in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to get me forward, and also he's a full Manchester United fan. He's known as the football encyclopedia. But Dexter, before you come here, you come in the elaborate agenda. With elaborate people talk, elaborate business. So you gotta take my plug. But back to what I'm saying. What impressed me the most about the team and the performance today is that we didn't play even though we exploited our counter-attack football. What I was impressed about, we were able to play our football. If you notice, even when we had the ball in our defensive third, it wasn't going long. It was prepared to play ball position, to build and come outside. I also liked how we matched Liverpool in the midfield in terms of energy and in terms of close down the spaces. And I always talk about the 4 moments of the game. The first moment, what we did in possession, was obviously well because we are probably the only team for the year that dominated Liverpool in possession in any game. We had 55% in possession. That's great. But we were out of possession, even though Liverpool being who they were, we were still able to get our defensive shape and we were able to hold. And then our transition, as per usual, from a defense attack was perfection because our first 2 goals, even the third goal, when the foul happened, was a quick transition from defense to attack. And then, and what I consider our weakest segment of the game, our transition from attack to defense wasn't perfect, but it was much improved today. So the 4 parts of the game, we beat Liverpool on all 4 parts of the game. They just scored twice, but the beauty about them scoring twice was things we could adjust because the first one was Salah playing space between our stopper and our wing back, which good for us do. We will take that one, maybe the result was different. I might have been correct, I don't know, but I'll take that. And the second goal we were taking apart. But Liverpool could do that.
I find sure leave Salah for the first goal, man. I find sure.
So we agree. Now I'm saying Salah played this space between the stopper, which is Maguire, and Shaw. And we need to work on that. But those are what we call coachable mistakes. If you notice that space wasn't there in the second half, he was making sure and get goal side as opposed to inside of him in the second half. So that neutralized him.
And I was on a recovery too. So even Maguire and Lindelof was out of position.
And as per usual, as I always say, is our weakest part of the game, or transition from attack to defend. Mind you, Bob and Potty have some friends over watching the Super Bowl, so bet me. You know what?
Make sure not 10 though. Make sure it's 10 or less.
Well, I can't show you behind me because you know I'm what you call my me. You know what? Point being, before part of the game, we were much improved on the 4 segments of the game today, and we also had something I remember who we were playing. We playing the defending Premiership champion, so we had to expect some quality from them. But the 4 parts of the game were much improved there. I cool with that.
All right, I'm gonna just get some comments in, right? Hey Richard, welcome man. Thanks for joining. He said Greenwood, big player on a big day. Martial, where he belongs.
No, wait, hey, let me stop right there. Let me stop there for a sec, right? And I had a real, I say here what? If Marshall was on that field today, me a winner. And that's how this feeling that winner. And that's why he just don't take his chances in big games. So for the big game,
According to that Manchester United fan.
Better
look at that Manchester United fan. Hold on, sorry, look who inside. Manchester United for life.
Yeah, man, welcome, man. Nice.
Let's talk to them, boys. You have in that program in life, the world of it. I understand that. All right, you might say you want to talk to all you, or you're too grimy.
Yeah, so Reams, I just like that's man. For the big games, you gotta play Greenwood, boy. I'm taking that. Go ahead.
Yeah. Jody, he's saying someone needs to talk to Greenwood, and I think that would have been the earlier part of the game because Greenwood could have cut back a couple of times and he's a little bit selfish. But I think he get rewarded for his hard work today, no doubt.
Yeah, I think the pressure not scoring over the last few games too got to him, man.
Yeah.
Greenwood is a young player, and he would have to learn his trade. And what I liked about him, you could see he made the adjustments, and I'm actually thinking Cavani is a very good influence upon these guys. You're seeing Cavani, he's still another fighter because I think a couple of times they could pass the ball for Cavani, but I suppose it will take a time for him to grow into the team and get accustomed to the system. But the coach recognizes what Cavani is doing. Right? Cavani leads our line more and more these days. Like Cavani is the man. He might not be scoring as much goals, but he is giving us what we call a facilitator. When the ball goes into him, he gets the other attacking players who are attacking players, which will most time be Greenwood or Rashford. He gets them into the game, and Rashford is much better coming off the wing. Also Greenwood.
And also what he does is he occupy the central defenders. So you have them always thinking. So you never static, he always moving, you're always looking for that space, he always thinking. So I think that even makes it more easier, for the players who playing around.
Yeah. Richard also saying Lindelof had a good game. Wow. So I'm actually feeling in a drug test.
Well, first things first, it's not drugs at all. I'm all legal as a cigar. I'm celebrating my results today. I have not drink what I usually drink. We won't talk about it on the program tonight. And even if I was going the next route, which I'm not, it decriminalized. So allow me. Listen, I don't know about you guys. I am full of Manchester United, true and true. So I'm allowed to enjoy this one today.
Nice one.
All right. Alan Lewis, welcome, man. Thanks for joining. He's saying what latest complaint is that he needs a centre back, but he, as the coach, doesn't control the checkbook.
Takes trainer man club.
Last season, them forget how much injuries all he had to work with last season, and he wasn't complaining. So clap all the behave on yourself. I ain't want to hear that talk at all. Dwayne Moore, welcome, man. Thanks for joining. I think we will go all the way.
Oh gosh, oh gosh.
Actually, I understand the feeling. You know why I was so pleased about today's game? It was the first time for this season we went and we met one of the big teams head on. Usually our tactics is to, especially against the team we expect to dominate us in possession. We usually play with a defensive block and hit them on the counter. Today, even though we did score on the counter, it wasn't our main or only point of attack, and that was the most pleasing to me. Even if we had lost today, I was very pleased with what you said the team was able to do. We could, because listen, at the end of the day, as I have often said on this program, if you're going to win a league or win anything, we cannot play with two defensive midfielders to win. I'm sorry, no big team that is a championship winning team can play two defensive midfielders and go all the way. It just doesn't happen. So the day we went with one, and that was most refreshing to me.
Yeah. So correct.
What we call McTominay and Fred to me was McTominay and Pogba today to me was playing the DM role.
No, but when you say defensive-minded players, now because remember Pogba not really he'll play deeper, but more like a playmaker than a defender, a defensive-minded midfielder. Hey Christopher, welcome man. Thanks for joining.
Man.
Simeon, welcome buddy. Thanks for joining. Saying it's funny how them wingers could make three.
I understand what you're saying, but you understand Greenwood when he gets in front of the goal, the eyes bulge, and it's something I take with his style of play because we know he's a shoot on-side striker. Is that what you call that guilty as thought? I actually prefer a striker who goes home right through as opposed to one who is trying to pass right through because your job is to score goals. So yes, we are agreeing that he needs to grow and he needs to understand when it is on and he has to play in a better position than himself, especially at that level. But I prefer to have a greedy striker who's trying to go to goal than the one who shies away from the big moment. So yes, I'm agreeing. Greenwood should have squared at least twice in the first half and the game could have been gone, but I will live with it.
But as a player, you were intelligence. You definitely were intelligence.
I agree.
Your decision making, when to pass or when to shoot. You know, you're a player to develop that.
Yeah.
But we have to also remember Greenwood is 19 years old.
Yeah.
You think 19 years old. He has so much of his craft to learn. So I'm going to defend him tonight.
All right, Dwayne. I think
Jody, Jody. It's like they're defending Greenwood tonight.
all I will say to Jody's comment is not less than 75%.
Richard said, I think we had better game. I think one. Had the better game out of the defender. Sure had it better going forward. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure wasn't bad enough. Other than for me, the Salah, where he left Salah for the first goal. Otherwise, sure wasn't bad. I think Aaron tried hard going forward. You saw the effort he made going forward today. And again, Liverpool wasn't that threatening. You know, he was on the front foot so much that I can't remember Wan-Bissaka really having to say, well, you know, he did much now. However, he did it well, you know. But both of them had a decent game today.
Yeah. As I was saying before, in terms of the team sheet, guys, you know, I knew that Oli was going to rotate. The starting team for me was in and around what I expected. I agree with Callum on one note that I really think we need to kind of become less dependent on Maguire. You know, but I figured that the game like this would need that level head if that's what Maguire is offer. Because it would have been nice to see Tuanzebe and Lindelof today. You know, just to change it up a little bit to show that we're not heavily dependent on one player. We saw today that Mr. Undroppable, and I think he get dropped, but you know, we tend to think that we can't do it all Bruno. But we fought very, very well for 70-something minutes without Bruno. You know, so on the Maguire front, I really think we need to kind of find that independence, you know, from him. Other than that, I think everybody else stepped up. Everybody else stepped up to the plate. I can't criticize nobody who made the starting lineup today. However, going into the goals that we conceded, fellas, it's the second time. It happened twice. I was telling Nico before we started the goal.
Good night.
Yeah, Davion. The two goals we conceded, Callum. You realize the spin Lindelof. Well, first one and the second one I'm going to talk about, and Luke Shaw did not pick up on Salah, all right? Because they had Lindelof between minds, and they played the ball behind Lindelof back, and Lindelof had to turn. By that time, Luke Shaw lose Salah, and he was through on goal to chip it over Henderson. It happened again in the second half, but they tried on the right-hand side. And I don't know if anybody noticed what Wan-Bissaka do. Wan-Bissaka throw his frame, and clear that ball after the pass, spin Lindelof again. So, earlier, if we had a beat big teams, we can't afford to be putting our attack under that kind of pressure all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we had to clean up all wrong. Actually, defense hold the end pretty well, even though we didn't play two defensive-minded midfielders. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, in economics they have a statement. Economic cost, right? Opportunity cost, sorry. So when you don't do one thing, you lose another otherwise. So when we don't play two defensive midfielders, especially as we would call traditional defensive midfielders, we're gonna lose something. Right? So maybe if we had like Fred and McTominay there, then we'll have players who are more advanced in our middle third who could address those true passes. Because if you look at the second goal especially, even the first goal is, I think it was Thiago or whoever it was able to make that incisive ball. Sometimes the ball will be better than the man and the runs, whatever. So before we even start to talk about our defense, let's talk about our midfield. With all the blag about Pogba, he's not a defensive midfielder. And he made his starting point maybe as a defensive midfielder. But that natural instinct, that acclamation for the game is not a defensive midfielder. It doesn't take away from his responsibilities. But you must understand he has to give and take. Let's use the example Barcelona. If Messi playing midfielder Barcelona, no one will blink twice if he doesn't do his defensive work to that team. So I like to be reasonable. Yes, we could nitpick and say, listen, they should have done this, they should have done that. And as a player, you're looking for perfection. But sometimes I be reasonable too and say, listen, you know what? This is what we chose to do today, and we gamble on it. And in order for Pogba to do what Pogba needs to do, he needs to be. We all of us would agree Pogba is more effective in advanced positions. In order to be in the advanced positions, you have to give away defensive positions.
No, you're managing risk more or less.
Managing risk. So yes, we're disappointed by the goals, but I understand, and that's one thing I love. That's what I love about this new Manchester United team. I like to see what the coach is trying to do. We might not always work, but we want to see what they're trying, and then we can see what they're trying to, or what we're trying to achieve. All right. But as I'm gonna get back to you, I don't want the short food. I will come back just now. But glory Manchester United, that's all do. I will come back just now. Don't worry. I will look back here, but I'll be looking for food here. You know, it's going to be celebrating.
Do your thing. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, Nicole, I just get some comment before we continue, right? Christopher saying Oli himself said that he was proud of the fact that he was able to set up a team how they want to play, and they were able to go toe-to-toe with Liverpool and get a victory. That's very, very true. Jody saying Oli probably starting to trust his defense where he can play one CDM. And I don't know if I remember, there was a review, I think 2 reviews ago, where I posed the question earlier about if our defense now started to show up, if we could risk it a little more in midfield rather than having to play 2 defensive-minded players in midfield. You know? And I think...
I guess we already see it in the league, though.
Yeah.
In the league, if you see that play... do that in the league, then maybe it's just in the defense more.
But we saw it against Burnley? Yeah.
Burnley, yeah.
Christopher also saying Lindelof gets caught ball watching too easily, and that is why it's easy for him to get spin. Right? It happened twice today. It looked like Shaw was at fault for the first goal because he had to tuck inside to try to cover Lindelof because Lindelof was just ball watching. And then we realized when Salah made his run.
I don't think Lindelof would have seen that at all.
But what happened is that ball from Thiago, I don't know if it was intentional, but it was a beautiful pass because he had Lindelof turning, he spin Lindelof, the pass spin Lindelof, and that is what catch everybody off. Because if he was facing,
remember that was recovering, eh? But that was
right, right. But if Lindelof didn't turn and go directly at Salah, probably it might not look as bad, or it might not make sure look as though he reneged.
Right. Yeah.
Davian saying the silence of Manchester United haters are courtesy them boys.
Yeah, I hear some. I go to the Arsenal man. I hear them at all today, boy. Quiet.
Simeon saying I don't trust that Pogba and McTominay defensive mid. Them fellas can't close. Put Venezuelan in. You know, if I honest with you, now earlier we had a sometimes based on the team that we have, we don't have any specialist defensive midfielder to hold our role by himself, apart from Maguire. But then again, you can't really trust Maguire week in, week out. I believe, I realize that I should judge them by them on a game-by-game basis, because today I find McTominay and Pogba was decent.
Yeah,
right? Next game, we go say, well, hey, McTominay and Pogba is it. Next game, it's a real mess. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely, I see Matthias coming back for Sheffield.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, possession-wise, you know, we have control possession.
Yeah.
When I'm at the inside there, so again, you can see another change.
But I believe in the midfield that I saw today, where Oli actually said, hey, here we're going on. We're going for it, because over the past couple of weeks, Pogba showing some grit as well. You know, I still feel people don't give him enough credit for the work he does do defensively. He may not be the best defensive player.
Especially recent Pogba.
Yeah. Against Fulham, he put in a shift defensively, even though he left Lookman. But I mean, sometimes when you look at the overall, you can't say a man had a bad defensive game because of one mistake. Yes, that one mistake cost you, but when you look at the whole, Pogba put in a good shift in the center midfield role. You know?
Even against Lookman. Lookman took the ball from him, he tracked Lookman and won back the ball.
Exactly. So and that's why I say, Nico, if as Jody had alluded to earlier, if Oli trusts in the defense a little more, and we want to be on the front foot against teams, because I mean, Liverpool was one of the best teams in possession, and we went toe-to-toe with them today. You know, I mean, I'm saying don't respect the threats of a next team, but we could try to impose our abilities too, because we saw how full attack flow we were today. And I think you mentioned it before, Nico. If we had gone like this in the league game, who knows what could have happened? We respect Liverpool too much, especially the moment or the period Liverpool in right now.
Exactly, I think and that is respect. The period that Liverpool in right now. I think, and you see, even after when they lost against who beat them? It was Burnley.
Burnley.
Yeah, so I think they're at a real low point now. So I think teams will be going at them. You know, see that they are at a low point. I can see next game Liverpool struggling. You know, I can definitely see that, because even teams' confidence high now, saying, hey, Burnley beat them, Southampton beat them, you know, United just beat them. This Liverpool is the invincible Liverpool as we thought they were. You know, we could get at them. And I think that is going to happen.
Yeah. Jody saying after the Liverpool game in the league, Oli and the players realized that Liverpool is exactly. And I really, it's unfortunate that we didn't realize that earlier. But then again, I guess they could try to think what Oli was thinking at that point in time. It's better that we don't drop points. We don't lose, sorry, you know. So he approached our game a little more cautious, and I guess the result, the draw would have, you know.
And then to the rivalry now. A rivalry, and sometimes for the rivalry teams who out of form does find form. That's what that one game. You know, so I guess play it safe, win your point, but as Olivia said, as long as we don't drop points against Fulham, then that point would have been a good point. I think we did that, so I guess no love lost with that.
Yeah. Hey, Ian, good night, man. Thanks for joining.
Good night, Ian. Yeah, man.
So, Nico, let me get into the game. I don't know if you have any moments that you would have noticed. That's, high moments, low moments, positives, negatives, and let me talk about it and let you try it out.
Definitely for the first goal, boy. For me, I think that was a high. The moment Rashford received that ball, to play that ball over to Greenwood in that space at that moment, and the touch from Greenwood to the shot, which Greenwood, he does not only all power, but he has some placement in the man. So he had to have, that touch. I think it was on the volley.
It was a half volley.
Yeah, on the half volley. I think definitely. I think Rashford, and even I was listening. I think what Oli was saying was that the coaches were able to say, "Hey, man wide, man in the space," and he was able to hear that and put the ball over to Greenwood. And even though Greenwood had been struggling for form, you saw how clinical a Greenwood in space could be. You saw how ice cold a Greenwood is in front of goal, where for some reason by the time he get the ball and he size up or he put himself in position, he doesn't have a doubt in terms of at least he gonna hit the target or at least he gonna really keep a save. At least So I think the confidence from Greenwood to take on that shot, I think the ability from Marcus to play that ball, at the perfect time, more or less in the runner Greenwood, I think to me that was definitely a something that would have got us back into the game at 1-1 and reinstill that belief that hey, we still have a lot to fight for in this game.
Here now, we're saying Nico is so true because at that point in time, before that goal score, we were down 1.
Yeah.
And we were up to that point, we were playing better. I mean, I can't remember. I mean, correct me, fellas. I really don't want to be unfair to Liverpool, but I can't remember any part in that game where Liverpool were really better than us, right? Liverpool were normal moving around the ball but not doing anything. And Liverpool came and scored against the runner play, and that was annoying. That upset, man. It kind of deflates, man. Even though the team has shown grit in terms of being able to come back, but we're talking about Liverpool here. So going down a goal with I think less than 5 minutes, being able to respond like we did. And them not dropping the head these days, Nico, them fellas playing football with confidence within themselves. And we're saying it's right because Ollie did say that it was the bench. All the players, everybody in the bench had to tell Rashford, look, man moving, man free. And he was saying that he don't know if the place was full, if the place was with the fans, whether he would have heard it. But kudos to the bench for that because we want everybody playing football. We want all 17 or 18 fellas playing the game. So that was a well taken shot by Greenwood. I mean,
timely, and as you said, that was timely because lift back the confidence of the team now, and the team settled back again and started to play again.
And what I like too, Nico, I mean, and we were talking about Greenwood being a 19-year-old and he gonna make mistakes, but let we take time to appreciate the metal and the mentality that you man have.
This is what I say.
Because you get 2 chances before where you could have passed and you shoot. You know what I'm saying? And these kind of games is the ones when you get your opportunities, you want to make sure and put them away because you could pay faith. Right? And Cavani was in the airs after because Cavani was the one who was calling for the pass in the first 2 opportunities. And he still settle himself. He didn't look to give up the ball and he take his shot and he put it away. So I watch massive credit to Greenwood. You understand? It was a brilliant pass from Rashford, no doubt. But I had to give Greenwood props for that because I'm telling you, them thing as easy as it is.
No, actually. Take it like that. Brilliant.
I'm gonna get some comments in here. Hey Kurt, welcome man. Good night.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Kurt, yeah, just confused me a little bit.
Oh Lord. I thought it was a convincing game.
That was a very convincing victory.
Yeah.
All right. Christopher said Ollie said Rashford had to thank the bench for telling him, yeah. Hard luck. Watch me.
That's what Bruno again. Bruno late on play, man. This are the wrong side of the post, but that's a quality chance here.
Here now, Nico, Alisson look ordinary today, now. And I rate him. I rate Alisson.
I think we have learned from the last game. Because we had some chances in the last game, but just because maybe stationary chance, and not really being precise in our finishing that got Liverpool off the hook when we played them in the league. So I think maybe the guys took us into consideration today in terms of, hey, let's get precise at least. And possibility to score. And that will happen because with that Greenwood shot was precision, eh? The free kick again, the free kick from Bruno, precision. Right? And Rashford. Quality.
Yeah. I am saying, you see that I said about the last game we played them. Ollie was trying to put it over to be that high line. Poole loves to play, and it worked today.
Definitely, second goal, you saw that work for the second goal today.
And and if it's one thing that I was questioning the first game now, I don't know what Ollie's mentality was or his thoughts were on the first time we played Liverpool, but I was always saying you want to play Rashford out wide to run at men. Rashford, for me, I mean, we get figured out trying to beat Liverpool high line last game. Right?
When you try to beat City with that,
because I realize it's something with Rashford don't know how to time he runs when he playing through the middle. You know what I'm saying? So, especially when they play with intelligence.
I cannot feel in terms of that. I cannot feel in terms of that one.
The record speaks for itself.
Yes, I think I won right because players like Filippo and Zaghi, that was their bread and butter. How much time Zaghi would have been offside, right? But he'd have definitely at least once or twice in the game, it would have been onside and he'd have finished.
But the thing about it is, you wanted to work and it didn't work for us. You know what I'm saying?
And when last game?
Last game
it would have worked, but it had once or twice where Alisson would have cleared the ball and it didn't go back to VAR to see if he was really offside. But it was very, very close with the offside. Very, very close.
I think last game Liverpool dealt with that threat pretty comfortably. You know, and I think what we saw today was Ollie was a little more bold. He was a little more confident with a different approach. You know what I'm saying? And we played football this time around, and I saw it work. You know, Kurt saying that 3-on-2 counter we had and let it go. Yeah, it was crazy.
That was a big win.
It was crazy. Jody said my daughter said she find the game was exciting. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a real good one.
Good watch.
Them fellas, I mean, as Nico said earlier, it was a kind of deceivingly good game because you felt that we had so much chances. That if we didn't take advantage at some point, we'd end up paying for it. But you know, them fellas are never come true. Liverpool did nothing. The first goal was good, but it was a mistake on our part for the second. Ball play in and out. Playing the ball out of the back against a team that pressing so high suicide. But I thought them fellas did well, eh?
Yeah, they did well, and even that chance, they kind of got it. They kind of got it out. But I think that's Cavani who played a misplaced pass more or less. But otherwise, they played it out well.
Yeah.
And then losing the ball anyway in that third. You know how deadly Liverpool is given space and time. You know, so that's unfortunate, but. Otherwise, more or less, I find they were confident, they were brave, and that is what we want to see.
Yeah. Alan saying we just need to stop letting in these early goals. That's very correct.
Yeah.
You know, that's very correct. Simeon saying we want Greenwood to shoot, just not from a 15-degree angle all the time.
Yeah,
but the man proves sometimes that he is greater.
Yeah.
Davian saying, I was so happy after that win. I lash up my whole stack of
punching.
It was nice to see Rashford look at the defender, made sure he was offside, then made the run, or make sure he was onside and then made the run. Yeah, that's correct. I tell you, Rashford had a good day today. He had them fellas, he was killing them fellas on the link today, you know, and it's because he was seeing so much space. We were inviting Liverpool in, and then we were just playing them balls. Rashford had plenty space to take on. Greenwood had plenty space to take on them defenders, and I think this is what we should have done in the first game, you know. But I mean, Ollie figured it out, and we on to the next round. My thing, Nico, about the game today, one of the things that are annoying me is the fact that we keep winning. Before, we wasn't winning nothing in the box from corners. Right? Now, we're winning headers in the box, and none of them on target. None of them forcing a save. None of them scoring. We want to be a threat on set pieces too, man.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. Maguire, I find Maguire's free boy. Maguire's getting free headers and always, and Pogba had a few today too.
Yeah, Pogba, the big players and them fellas and them not imposing the physical, but they're not making it count now.
Yeah.
And come on, fellas, that annoying dread.
And I think the moment we started get them, I think we'll definitely be a team ready to fear even more. You know, because they know that hey, if we are a corner against United, and it could be all over. You know, it could be a goal here because they have been deadly on corners. And I think we had to start to get that. We had to start to get those goals on corners.
Yeah, definitely, because we don't know that on the counter teams fear we and teams respect we. Yeah. We have the players now on set pieces and corners to hire quicken in your boots.
Yeah, and then we have quality crosses coming in because at that time where for the corners was real poor quality in the corners. Now we getting real high quality corners and we're not taking advantage of them.
Yeah. So for me that is my growls. Let me make it count. Let me make them chances count, you know. Gosh boy, oh God. Jody saying I want Greenwood to stop being selfish. I think Nico had said it well earlier. We want him to be selfish, but the intelligence to know when to pass and when to be selfish. Because the one thing that's I have with my boy Martial is he still had to learn to be selfish. He just tried to pass off the ball too much, you know. Today was a good day for crosses and set pieces. Yeah, and watch me that defensive partnership for Liverpool. Where's the youth man name? Philip.
Rice Williams.
Williams.
Yeah.
He was food.
Yeah, boy, he's real food today, boy.
Davian saying Mason will get chances and goals. Me worried.
Yeah.
I think we see him today. You know, I don't know if I'm hoping that goal will do a whole lot of good for Greenwood because we know at deadly Greenwood is problems earlier. Yeah. You know, the second half of the season now starts. So earlier, Greenwood will catch back some form. Check what I'm showing you. Jody saying, yeah, Marcel is the opposite. Yeah. So two of them are trying to balance. Them are trying to get some kind of balance. Marcel are trying to take more chances, and Greenwood are trying to pass a little more. You know. And yeah, Reece Williams come along.
I guess what Jody mean too is that Greenwood is finishing big games. I think he mean that also.
He mean that. That's not what he mean.
Jody, hey, clean up.
Watch me. Yeah, Nico, let me remind you of something. And I'm putting this to bed right now.
Yeah,
you and Callum, right? Yeah. Same fellas was firing down Pogba. Oh, this, oh, that.
Yes,
I'm not finished. Always the same one who come back with a little tail between a little leg and I was singing the man praises.
Right, of course.
I will wait and I will remind you and Fire Marshal and all Richard all earlier.
Right.
Martial catch back his form and he putting things away against Bayern Munich and the Avengers and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Big games, small games. He letting everybody sit down. You know what I'm saying?
That's all we want, Dreams. That's all we want. That's all we want. That's what we want. We want nothing less. We want nothing less. That's what we want.
Watch me. I wasn't patient for Pogba and watch all now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but we didn't have the facts. And we always knew Pogba had the quality. We always
So where you're trying to say?
He just wasn't bringing it consistently enough.
So what you're trying to say, Marcel? You're trying to say Marcel don't have quality, we're not consistent.
I never said that. He has more quality than only strikers on the team. When it comes to winning games, we want to be winning games for us. Same thing with Pogba, what is the consistency?
That will come, and they will get you.
Lord, all right, they'll come in any season. All right. The any season they'll come.
Anyway, Jody, that was a free kick horse.
Yeah, but
that was a free kick.
And that apple club to sit down too because what club calling him out? What kind of name stop calling him man? Years only see him when he 12 yards out, right? Talk about that one now. You understand? Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, and watch me. And you know what I like about Bruno, Nico. Bruno is the type of player you could tell he just sit down and he just study certain things. He just work. He just try to change up certain things that he wants to do. Because I remember when he had just come, when we played City in Old Trafford. That was January last year. He set up on the free kick. and he chipped the ball over instead of going direct. He chipped the ball over for Martial. We wasn't seeing them kind of creativity, them kind of guidance in set pieces before that. Now Bruno would have know, hey, here what's going on. I suspect he'd have studied Alisson. Now if I try to go over the top, Alisson's strong. So let me try to go deep and far, you know? And I see him different things that we trying now, boy.
But actually, he said that Cavani who told him to go for power to the side net, or something like that. Was Cavani who told him, and he went to. But my thing with free kicks, right? Why Fred does be standing up by free kicks when you're not taking? Hey. What Fred doing there? Yeah, Fred, Bruno, and Rashford. Fred just pick up a position where a deflection can come and hit, get a shot or something now. Fred,
because everybody know you don't have that boy.
You ain't had that boy. Yeah. Just move.
Yeah.
No, that with me. Oh my goodness.
But here now, we was talking before, right? Probably when Fred used to play for Shakhtar, he used to be taking free kicks and putting. Who knows?
But since the Premier League, Fred, just move now. Just move.
Jody said, Nico, did not hear what you asked. Clarify that for me, Jody.
No, remember I asked him earlier to think to defend me or something like that. Something, I'll check it back and I'll see.
Oh, that was the Martial thing, boy.
So with Martial?
Yes, I'll get back the comment.
Yes, definitely with that Greenwood and Martial different, and the difference is scoring big goals also.
No, that's not what he meant.
Yes.
That's not what he meant.
That's what I said, and I asked you to clarify if that is also what he meant.
Jody, we're talking about this comment here. And the context when we were talking about it was that Martial should try to be a little more selfish and Greenwood should try to pass a little more. Nico, what's the agenda? Right? Making it look as though you meant Martial need to show up and score in big games. I don't know.
Just like how Greenwood scored in big games, the opposite. Greenwood scored in big games, Martial is scoring big games. The opposite.
I mean, here what I'm telling you. Here what I'm telling you. Men, there's hate on this fella does get unnecessary hate, and I go represent. Yeah. He ain't helping me much lately, but let's see the unfairness and agendas. I go stand up for my boy. Davian saying, I see Marcel in the market today. Here, I go like yourself. It will be nice for Marcel to catch form soon to power us into winning the title. Here,
that will be nice. That will be nice. That what we want. That's what we want. Scoring big games, Selena. Oh gosh.
I am saying Nico Fred could kick it. He was a set piece taker at Shakhtar and he bust Alisson bag before.
Nah, boy, that was then, boy. Not again. Forget that.
Jody saying Fred was there because Bruno said after training, Fred, Bruno, Rashford, and Telles is the ones that stay back. But Fred, they just stay back there for moral support. Yeah, fellas, are they good?
And I go, cool, yeah, boy, that's a good one.
He's the hype man.
Yeah. I know for that energy, so definitely.
He wanted to get the ball back.
Yeah. Fred, go and get that ball for me then.
Jody said, thank you very much.
All right, Jody. All right.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Nico, what's your agenda?
All right.
Shucks, man. Oh, God. Easy, man. All them fellas forget real easy. Fellas always forget real easy in a boy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Watch, man. I remember it from since the last season Liverpool. Since the last season Liverpool with Martial, he gained big chances and he not putting them away, and then it continued.
Oh God.
So every big game that he gets.
Watch how you conveniently leaving out games there. So you're going to Liverpool and you jump from Liverpool to the end of the season you play Sevilla, then you jump to
That
PSG.
plenty between that
Fellas,
two. That plenty between that. That big games that when your striker get chances at a score. This is Manchester United.
So Marcel didn't score.
Manchester United.
Wait, hold on. Marcel did not score against Arsenal. Marcel did not score against Man City. Them is not big games. Marcel did not score against Spurs. Them is not big games, buddy.
All right. Big games, big semi-final games and thing, yes.
Oh God.
Semi-final games gives a carry to the final, give the carry to the next round of the Champions League. You know,
yeah. And then when he started scoring them games, then he goes, so he ain't scoring in finals. He should score the last goal in finals. He should score 3 goals in finals.
Nah, give it a fine. Do something for me now.
Rashford
does do them thing for me.
Alright, now, buddy. Alright. You know, Rashford in form, so let's get bumper. Or we could bump up and thing. Rashford in form, nice. I am saying Fred is the selector and Bruno is the DJ. Yeah. Fred is the hype man. I don't know. You remember this movie boy? Oh God, what's the name of the movie boy? And Kevin Hart was in it. And he was the hype man. It's a movie. Anyway, it was just to show that Fred is like a Kevin Hart, not just the hype man. Yeah. You know, he had no other purpose to serve in free kick. Christopher saying, hey, all right, let me get this. The Marcel here makes no sense.
Yeah.
He's out of form, yet still being productive. And I just want to answer the comment and say he's out of goal scoring form.
Jesus.
No, because the man.
All right.
Let me finish with the man comment.
Go ahead. Yeah.
He will find his form, and when he does, it will make the team that much stronger. Fun fact: Rashford and Greenwood cannot do what Marcel can. Only Cavani can keep him out of this team, not them youths. Very well said, buddy. Very well.
Yeah, and I agree to that point.
Christopher sent me a jersey size. I just sent all in a jersey size. Joey saying, hey, although be on the Brazilian Fred, he reminds me a bit of Anderson.
Where is it?
If I want to say I never like Anderson. I kind of like Fred more.
Yeah, I like Anderson, man.
Davian saying the Venny go shock away with a free kick one of these days like Hargreaves.
Boy.
But as long as Rashford,
you know what I'm gonna say?
Bruno,
Yeah.
Pogba, he never gonna take a free kick. And I remember it's at that game, Nico, when none of them was on the field and Marcel take the free kick. So Fred had a free kick. Fred go take free kick in training.
Yeah.
Simeon Cavani really proved me wrong from when he first signed. But I don't trust him staying healthy. Marcel needs to get it together. And if he does, the league is ours. I think that...
See, Cavani,
yeah, Nico, let me talk about Cavani.
Yeah, I think Cavani really surprised me in terms of his willingness to play for United, his willingness to fight for the United jersey. And to me, he has been staying fit. And you're seeing that Ollie's even putting more trust in him. And I personally, I find it comes sooner than I thought it would have come. You know, so to me, I think, yes, I know we talk about number 7 and we talk about Cavani, that, you know, number 7 going again. But Cavani definitely have proven me wrong. And to me, he's a breath of fresh air within the team. I think even when we play Man City, we missed him because we knew that he would have brought something different. We knew that he would have been a different threat that we missed. And I think definitely Cavani was a very shrewd signing. And you must give a thumbs up to Ollie and the coaching staff for getting Cavani to the team.
Yeah. And I mean, what making Cavani stick out is that Cavani does stuff working.
Yeah.
You understand? And you know that some players, you will get industry, but then they have no end product or the level's just not good. Mm-hmm. Like Dan James.
Yeah.
But with Cavani, you're seeing the endeavor, you're seeing the industry, but still you're getting so much out of him. You know? And I mean, I really hope, because Ollie did allude it, or he did say it, sorry, in his post-match, is that Cavani knows what his role is. His role is not only to come on the field and play football. Yes, do that. Mm-hmm. But it's also to pass on and to allow the fellas who are coming behind here, the Greenwoods, the Martials, the Rashfords, to teach them fellas, because them fellas have, it's a plenty things that you have in your game that them fellas need to learn if they have to hit the heights that you hit as a forward. You know what I'm saying? Because you, that kind of pureness of a number 9, them kind of players, you don't have them out here again, Nico. You don't have those kind of players again. You will find more in the game now. You'll find more of the Greenwood, Marcel Rashford type of strikers. You know, and when you don't have that pure number 9, you're losing that kind of quality now. You're losing that edge, and that is what Cavani bringing to the table right now. And that's what we have to watch me out for. As long as we have it, let me squeeze that way.
Yeah, because we spoke about it for the last game when the goalie scored the goalie equalizer against Fulham. You know, you can't teach that. That kind of positioning and that, you can't teach that.
Yeah. Hey, Jody, have a blessed night too, man. Thanks for joining.
Hey,
right?
Jody, thanks.
Yeah, man. Davian saying Cavani does be the only one pressing sometimes. He proved me wrong. He proved me wrong too. I bashed the transfer.
Yeah,
I think you're not the only one. Real people bash that transfer eating the words now, you know? So not her real men eating the words on Martial too.
I hope so. I honestly want to eat my words. Honestly.
Yeah, full. Your belly are full eating the words on Pogba.
Let me tell you why. Because yeah, eating words on Pogba.
Your belly are full? Breathe now.
But the whole world knew that Pogba wasn't playing to potential. Pogba may be really only playing right now because he was a transfer at the end of the season. He was somebody pay big money for him. But we have gone down that road, it's benefiting us. So I'm grateful. So, right, we move on from that.
Yeah.
But Marshall again has a lot of talent, a lot of quality that to me he doesn't bring to the fore as much as he should, right? But quality all around.
We will go to my Marshall and Marshall. I'm a cousin are fighting for him all the way.
Callum, you have a jersey coming your way, right? With your size.
Extra large, but we don't do things big. We do things extra big where I from, boy.
No, but y'all, we seen a new brand Pogba here. I feel we could keep him, but I feel he might have a new lease on life and the man go stay by, because I mean this Pogba that we've seen here, we've been hearing even when Pogba was out of form, even when Pogba agent Rayola was talking he nonsense. You always heard Oli saying Pogba is quality, Pogba will come good, Pogba will this, Pogba. Oli was always, because Oli knew what he was seeing. Right? And credit has to go to Oli for not throwing Pogba under the bus when everything was looking as though Pogba didn't want to stay, Pogba was leaving. But Oli really stuck to his guns and defending his player.
What I like about Oli, unlike Jose, he doesn't throw players under the bus. He may have his issues with them because all players on the other part fire up there, the bomb, they get them to do what they need to do. But I have never seen Oli throw a player under the bus. He might play, he might lose you on the bench, like example Lingard. But the point being, he threw you on the bus publicly. Now, Pogba in the last game, he said, quite frankly, when I'm with him, I'm happy. When I'm losing, I'm not happy. So I'm happy right now. So if we could pull off, like when they say, knock on wood and everything, we win the league. Pogba will stay because the man said once, who leaving a winning team? And he who wants Manchester. And if we don't pull it off, he will have those especially when his form going up. You know, he will have those things, people in his ear saying, well, you know, move on, whatever the case may be. And when we get that bridge, we'll cross it. And what I learned from the great Sir Alex Ferguson, that player want to go, man, go on. You know what I mean? We're the biggest team in the world. I keep stressing, Manchester United is the biggest team in the world. And we have to act as such. No player, no manager, nobody is bigger than this team. Yes, we would love Pogba to stay, but if he goes in, all right, boss, try the road.
Let me just get some comments in here. I am saying these players only get bashed because we know what they can do. Now here is my thing with this, right, Ian? I don't have a problem with bashing players. I don't have a problem with being critical of players when they're not informed. But you see the witch hunt and the unnecessary extra criticism, Nico. Yeah, another when we're not taking when we're not taking time to recognize.
Who is criticized unnecessarily and witch hunted? I mean,
Martial getting it unnecessarily. I am of the opinion, Callum. Hear him out, via. Hear him out.
I'm coming closer to the screen. I want to hear this one good.
Yeah. Hear him out, right? Players go through dips in form, right? So I don't have a problem with a player going through a dip in form. Marcel is going through a dip in goal scoring form right now, but Marcel overall, for the most part, has been playing pretty well. So I have an issue when men like Nico come in and telling me that Marcel had a packy bag and go. He don't show up in big games, you know. He not fit to wear the jersey. These are the kind of out of timing thing this man we talking.
Yes,
Let
I'm gonna just make my last point, Callum. Forgetting, right, that just a couple months ago, that man was the leading goal scorer. Everybody, when he was putting and scoring for fun, oh, that is my number 9. Ting, the man proving himself, all kind of lip. Now the man going through a little patch. He's not scoring. Yeah, he thrown away some real suspect goals, but the man has been performing and playing properly. The man has been contributing. Who don't have a bad game? Who don't have a bad game here?
The only reason he's still playing is because of the quality in the team. If he was around with the names of York, Sheringham, and Nicole, Reams.
Yeah, let me reply to that, right? Because even Dwight York was in an interview, and the man asked Dwight York, from this current Manchester United team, who making that 99-98 team? You know what York say? Nobody. So form or no form, nobody in this team making a 99 team. So they refer to that team, Nico.
All right.
Right, Callum.
I'm gonna meet both of you only half here by saying this. I wouldn't go as far as to say Manchester should leave, but you need to get his act together. And I understand what Reem's saying, because at that point in time, I have to say last season Manchester was carrying the team and he was scoring every single game. But Manchester went about 4 or 5 games, maybe 6 games, scoring every single game. So what I would say is this: he needs to improve his form. He needs to be less wasteful in front of the goal and getting the team. And it reflects at this point in time and how often Odious playing him. So he is, in my opinion, he's a vital member of the team. I think we all know he could and should do more, needs to do more. But I'm not going to throw him on the bus at this point in time. I will work with him. So yes, Nico, you're right. Manchester get himself together. And also remember, right? We can't throw him Manchester. He have a different form now. So let's work with him. And that's what big coaches do.
All right.
Simeon saying Nico has 2 tickets. 2 tickets come summer to Paris for them fellas.
Possibly. I think what you mean, Pogba going to PSG? Possibly. I don't
know. Christopher saying Pogba wants to win, always molding this team into a team that can challenge for trophies. Maybe he stays if the team continues to be successful. I think so.
What is successful?
Within trophies, no, nothing else.
Or challenge. What do you think about challenging? Just challenge.
No. This is Manchester United. We don't challenge, we win. I don't even allow it's an opinion here. I don't hear nothing from Raymond Nico. Win or nothing else. No opinion.
Fair enough. Davian said if Pogba goes, Grealish will be bought.
No, Pogba will stay. We can still take Grealish too. What I would do personally, I would buy Grealish and put him on that left-hand side, or the right-hand side, where Marshall does play, and add them to our team. And also, I would buy, I tell you openly, I would go all out for Kane. We need a 20-goal season striker. And with that, we'll go over it up. I say that without any hesitation. I ain't guessing. And Kane is the one I would go for right now. Or even Vardy, but the problem with Vardy is his age. But we could pull out Alex Ferguson. Remember Alex Ferguson buy Van Persie at the end of his career, and Van Persie win a league pass.
Well, I think that was Cavani.
Yeah, like Cavani. I feel Vardy even passes your show, boy.
Now Vardy is American. Something different from Vardy. I don't know Vardy. Vardy eating or drinking and working.
Let me get this one from Ian. He's saying ambition is important. Rooney held United at a ransom because he wasn't seeing the team's ambition. It's probably the same for Pogba, but he's just using his agent as his mouthpiece.
Yeah, but Rooney earned that, Rooney earned that. So when Rooney was acting up, I say take Rooney because Rooney is Manchester United top goal scorer all time. Rooney captain that team like a hero. Now Rooney earned the ticket that
I'm doubting that in a column, but I mean when you consider who Rooney was playing with, when you're bringing Pogba and you promise him certain things, and then you have the man playing with Andres Pereira and Lingard. I think it's different.
Yeah, but we had to be reasonable too. It's not that we just go and pick up any player we want and put them in the team at the point in time. It wasn't possible. We tried to get some players and we wasn't getting them. And
Right.
remember,
You think so, man? You think so, man?
I think it was partly
Yeah.
because the Glazers didn't want to
Yeah,
spend
I
money.
think the Glazers want to spend money. Yeah.
No, I really believe that the Glazers did not want to, because the season Nico, when Pogba just come and it had Zlatan and Mkhitaryan, Pogba had a very good season.
Yeah.
None?
Pogba, like most players, when you have better players around him, is get more time. And right now, Bruno Rise has been best for the Pogba. And now that the team know what they're doing, and players have accepted their rules and they're doing it well. You're seeing the best out of Pogba. And Pogba, in fairness to himself, had to get his act together and he's getting together. But as you would have heard, always say in one of the post-match interviews, Pogba fitness is greatly improved. Now, you remember he has a language style running, but now you're looking at Pogba. Even though his style is still there, he's covering more ground, he's even stronger, he's more confident, everything, you know. So, yeah.
All right. We'll just get this last question for us and then we go wrap up, right?
All right.
The same question. If we were at the middle of the league instead of the top, would Pogba play with the same zeal when fully fit? Would he have dragged us to the top like the talent is capable of?
Well, like that, if and about that, maybe we can answer that question.
But
I think Simeon probably talking about, or he more alluding to mentality, yeah? Go ahead, Nico.
Yeah, exactly. And I say no. I don't think all know my agent still talking.
With all the black, Pogba agent doing the work in it. So make sure at any point in time Pogba doesn't move, he get the best price ever, and that is his job.
Yeah.
He might talk about the monkey so and so, but he's doing his job.
Yeah. All right, guys. So closing final thoughts, Nico.
Well, again, we on to the next round. You know, West Ham at home. The dates out, Dreams?
Just now.
Yes, that is the draw. That is the draw. Playing West Ham at home.
Yeah, but I don't know what the date. But
the date.
Yeah, decent draw still. You know, at that round in the FA Cup. Anything after that in the quarterfinals.
10th of February.
Okay, nice. So
that's Friday.
10th of February.
Yeah, the 14th is Sunday, the Valentine's Day. Trust me, I'm like myself.
That's a Wednesday. That Wednesday.
You sure that Wednesday?
Yeah, that Wednesday.
I go on through, boy. But
that was the 10th.
No, but no, if they come to play Friday too, yeah. But midweek.
Yeah, but Valentine's is the 14th, Callum. So I just think you check that the some days ahead.
I don't make my adjustments, but we go talk about that on the show.
Yeah, so again, great victory. I think the performance more than the victory was very pleasing. And on to the next round. You know, Sheffield on Wednesday. Again, going into that game confident. And again, you don't want to be overconfident, but I can definitely see a very much confident performance in that game.
Yeah, Mr. Glazer.
Well, as I say, today is a great day for me. The Glazers has won today, Manchester United and Tampa Bay are in Super Bowl finals, and I'm won the FA Cup. But in terms of Manchester United, what was most pleasing to me is that we actually met one of the top 6 teams, manu, and we dominated in possession. And this will only offers well for our team going forward. Because if we intend, and I always say, if we intend to win the league or to win anything, we cannot be playing 2 people as that's simple as that. We played today with 1, and we got the job done against the defending present English champions, and just the year before the European champions. So this is fantastic for Manchester United. And the 4 moments in the game, we won all 4 moments, and this was the most pleasing to me.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, on to the next one. Ollie did say in his post-match that come tomorrow, we had to focus on Sheffield.
Sheffield United. Yes.
You know, we celebrate for today already. That done. That is history. You know, so the next challenge is Sheffield, and that is the league. You know, we want to keep the pressure We want to keep the pressure there. We want to keep it going. We want to keep it going. We can't take nobody for granted, you know. And with the confidence and the positivity around the club right now, I expect a good result against Sheffield. Yeah. So guys, thanks again for being here. Thanks again for your comments. It was appreciated. Nico, Mr. Glazer, thanks for joining. You know, and check us on YouTube, guys. All United. You know, this video is always uploaded there. So, you know, give me a little subscribe now and a little like and a little comment now. You know, let me build our following on that side as well, right? We really want to get this content out. So that brings us to the end of this review. See you guys on Wednesday. Have a good night.
Remember, guys, you can see us soon on ESPN FC. Glory, glory, Man United.